Hi everyone, I'd like to welcome you to Philosophy 200, that's Critical Reasoning. I'll be your instructor. My name is Professor Julie Yu. For this video lecture, I just want to go over some basic nuts and bolts of the syllabus. And in the next video lecture, I'm going to make some very broad comments about what critical reasoning is. So I'm going to save the description and the topics that we're going to cover for the next video installment. For now, I would just like for us to go over basic things like our textbook and what you need to do to get a good grade for this course. Our textbook is called The Power of Critical Thinking, 4th edition, by Lewis Vaughan, and it's going to be abbreviated as PCT on the course Moodle site. The course material for our course is all going to be posted on our Moodle site, which everyone in the course who's registered has access to, and on that Moodle site you'll see the schedule of readings and the due dates for the assignments and what we're going to cover and when. You'll notice that your final grade is going to consist of 3 assignments, each 25%, and what I'm calling rules 1 through 5, there are 5 rules that I've specified in order for you to engage in this online course, and they're pretty much like your participation grade. So I'd like to talk for just a few seconds about an online course. There are certainly some advantages to it, like its flexibility and convenience, but the disadvantages can be things like, I'm not implying that you're lazy at all, but I do think that it's more difficult to do well in an online course because you have to be self-motivated. Much of the learning is going to happen on your own while you are by yourself, and that can make things a little bit difficult in terms of getting a certain amount of motivation going. So what I've done is specified these rules so that you can be proactive about your learning process, and I want to go over each of them pretty quickly. So, first thing, our textbook has an excellent website. Student resources for our textbook is what I'm calling that website. It's on the Moodle site for our course, and when you click it, you'll be sent to a website called Student Resources, and it's divided into chapters, and each chapter has learning resources that help reinforce the material that you've covered in the chapter. What I'd like you to do is focus on 3 of those resources. In particular, I'd like you to focus on the chapter study questions, where the answers are distributed throughout the chapter, review questions, which are questions that you can take online and your answers will be corrected, and then finally self-assessment quizzes, where the answers to those quiz questions are given at the end of the quiz. You'll also find many other useful resources listed alongside the ones that I just mentioned. Things like chapter summary, flashcards, web links, study guide exercises, especially the study guide exercises. They have more open-ended questions where you can apply what you've learned in a given chapter, and they're actually really very good for discussion, and I think they'd be great material for our live chats. As for our live chats, this is going to take us to rule number 2. I'm going to try to simulate a classroom type atmosphere as much as I can, and to do that I am going to make myself available on Tuesdays and Thursdays between 7 and 8 p.m. and all you have to do is click on the links on those appropriate days. And I'm going to be available for you to ask questions, discuss ideas, to explain again certain concepts that you would like me to go over. And then when you're not chatting, I would like you to communicate all of your questions and ideas in the Critical Reasoning Forum. Again, it's a link on the Moodle site where for each week there's going to be a new forum. And this is where I'd like to see all the questions and answers pertaining to the course material posted. Now, for all other questions, there's also a comments section. This is rule number 4, a comment section on our Moodle site. So if you have any ideas about how the video presentations could be made more clear or anything along those lines, please use the comment section to make comments in that vein. And finally, I'm going to request that you use your emails to me sparingly. And that's because I want to keep the course as much on the Moodle site as possible, to keep the course organized. With emails coming from students individually, it's very hard to keep track of what's going on. So I'm going to ask that you send me an email to my email address only if there's a personal reason that might interfere with your ability to do the work in the course, with your progress in the course. And then finally, as for grading, the grading is going to be given on the scale, which is fairly standard. And as for academic integrity, I assume that's simply not going to be a problem because this is an online course, and I'm assuming that everyone is going to do their best to learn the material the best they can.